Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to try and fix my strawberry bed. See behind me my bed, it's looking pretty rough. I got weeds all up in it. I did cover the soil up with some compost, or some mulch rather. So the soil's looking pretty good underneath here. And then I got a lot of weeds though that grew up in the mulch that I used. So we're going to take a lot of this out. Now over here, I know this looks like weeds, but that's actually one of our stevia plants. So that's going to stay there. I did go and buy these from Lowe's. They got them on sale $6. You get 10 plants, which is a pretty good deal. All right, and it does have instructions on how to plant them and when. All right, and here it says for our zone it would be February. It says after all danger of frost is past. However, we're pretty close to that. We might still get a frost, but one of the things about these is they are supposed to be cold hardiness from 20 to 30 degrees. Alright, so they should be fine as long as it doesn't freeze hard. Alright, now I'm going to open them up. I've never bought these. This would be what you call a bare root plant, I believe. And what it's going to do, hopefully, is we're going to have, what do I want to do? That'd be right. Put this over here. It says to rinse the roots, but you can see we have some just barely starting. Let's see if I can get a better picture. Just barely starting to grow, and they're what you call strawberry crowns. All right, and these crowns, there should be 10 plants in there, all wrapped up. One of the things it does tell you is to go ahead and rinse these off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear the weeds out, and then from there we'll go ahead and kind of move this mulch around a bit. I don't think I'm going to put any compost down right now until we get everything growing. So let me get it all weeded out, cleaned up, and then I'll get right back to you. Alright, so it tells me to rinse these off. Try to break them up a little bit first. Now, I've never bought strawberries this way. I gotta admit, I've always bought them that were already in pots and such and already alive. So hang on, I'm gonna make some noise here, so I'm gonna get them rinsed off. Put a band on here, holding them all together. Let's take that off. That's probably why they didn't want to break apart. Oh, I see. Got them all wound up. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Now when you go to taking these apart, you want to be gentle. You don't want to rip the roots. Alright? Some of these roots are kind of twined up together. I'm trying to be as careful as we can. The more roots you got, the better they are. You kind of see what I'm talking about here. Alright, so we're kind of like all tangled up here. Just kind of slowly work them apart. Some of these roots are intertwined. See, the goal is going to be that we're going to get these individual plants in this year, and we might get some strawberries, we'll see. But the hope is that what will happen is then these will spread and fill the entire bed. Now, we weren't very successful in previous years doing that. They spread somewhat, but not real well. I'm not really sure why. But we're going to find out. So this is what they're talking about with a crown. So that is a crown. It's got roots on the bottom, and this area up in here is what's called the crown, right in here. All right, and then of course anything growing up above there is the plant itself. Right, so there's another one. Is that all one? Oh, that looks to be all one. Yeah. So you can tell, like this one here, it's a bit bigger, but it's all the same plant because it's all one circular structure right there in the middle, one singular crown. All right. So hang on just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's not good. So they're already starting off on my shit list because, well, there's supposed to have been 10. There are only 8 crowns in there. So, not real good. Hang on, let me reposition and we'll go back at this. Alright, so my 8 of 10 crowns, which again, not my most favorite. Okay, so basically it says dig a hole to required depth, drop the gently separated roots, place plants with a crown above soil level, and replace the soil when covering the plants. Alright. Spacing, it says 12 a foot, 2 feet apart. So we're looking at, a foot apart. So I think what I'm going to do is because this is an 8-foot bed, 8 foot that way, 8 foot that way, 4 feet this way, or a little over. So I'm going to go ahead and plant one there. I'm going to plant one about there. Plant one about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8. Let's separate them out a little bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so I got 9 plants. That'll work. Alright. Got them kind of spaced where I want them. I did stir up the mulch here. And I'm going to dig down to the soil level. And I want these planted in the soil. Not in the mulch, but in the soil. Alright. I'm going to spread the roots out a bit. Like so. Get them down in the hole. And make sure the crown is above the soil level. We'll pack it down a little bit. Oh, hey! Did you knock on the front door? Hang on. I got a visitor. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. It was a visitor. We had our orange tree made over 100 oranges. It was fantastic, really good, big old fat, beautiful oranges. And so we were giving them away, and she had mentioned, we saw her in the grocery store, and she had mentioned that she was interested in our oranges. So we took her a bunch of oranges. And in return, she brought us a cake. So now we got a cake. Which is kind of nice because it's our anniversary weekend. 35th anniversary. But anyway, so like I said, so you want to make sure that you get at least deep enough to where you cover all the roots. The more roots you cover, the better off it's going to be. And then this is really nice moist soil because it's been mulched for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Alright, so we're going to pack that in. And we want to leave that crown up above the soil level. And then when you put the compost back, or the mulch back, you want to make sure that you do the volcano. So you've got a nice little round bowl where the leaves still have the opportunity to come up and grow up around it. All right, without having to compete with that mulch. All right, down. And I like to pack the dirt in a bit, and then I will soak it real well so that I make sure. This is part of that plastic covering we tried to do. It didn't work out too well. But I'll soak it real well to make sure that all of those roots are contacting soil of some sort. Now, prior to doing this, I did mix up my mulch a bit. Take all the dead leaves out. Man, I'll tell you, today is just a visitor day. Come here, Murphy. Come here, Murphy. Hello, buddy. How you doing? How you doing, buddy? You good boy? You good boy, Murph? Yes, you are. He's my neighbor's dog. He always comes to visit. He gets so sad. They built a fence. We've got a new housing complex coming up behind us. And he was so sad he couldn't get around the fence anymore. All right, go home. Nope, not that way. Go that way. Good boy, Murph. Good boy. Go home. And that's all he does. He comes by and visits. Let me get all these planted. Now Murphy does like to poop on my yard, but I don't care. I mean, it's dog poop. Believe it or not, one of the things we're lacking around here is poop. Because poop is what gets that whole cycle of life going. All right. There's a song out there, which is really good, if you ever get a chance to listen to it. It's called Shit Makes the Flowers Grow. Highly recommend it. All right, let me finish this up, and then we'll talk some. All right, so once again, we go over the instructions. It says a foot to 2 foot apart. We've got about that, probably just a little over a foot, about probably 15, 18 inches. Dig a hole, gently separate roots, place plants with the crown above soil level. Replace the soil, covering the plants, and water well after planting. And keep in mind, one of the things about watering, all right, so water will soak down into the soil and cause the soil to expand a bit and move around. And one of the things that does is it makes sure that all of the roots that you just put in the ground have contact with soil. Because a root in air isn't going to do you a lot of good unless you have a few particular types of plants that like that. Most plants, though, don't want air around the roots. They need soil contact, all right, and moisture. So then one of the other things too is we made sure that the crowns are up above the ground and that we've taken the mulch and left the crown still exposed so that any leaves that come up are able to seek sunlight as soon as possible without having to fight through the mulch. But also just to keep it from rotting, because if you get too much mulch right up around any plant, it can cause rot because that mulch will hold moisture, which is one of the reasons why you have mulch. I don't think it'll be a problem quite yet because it's still winter time. You know, we're at end of January. What is it? 27th. So I've got my little spots all planted out. Now I'm going to soak them in real good. Make sure they, like I said, have good contact with the soil. And we'll see how it works. This is the first time I've ever tried something like this. I will say that I looked them up online with several other places. And while these were 50 cents, well, they're supposed to have been like 55 cents. Yeah, because it was $6 for 10, so 60 cents, I'm sorry, for each. Though I get a 10% discount because I'm military. So 55, 60 cents a piece. The ones online for 10 crowns were going anywhere between $15 and $20, so you're talking, you know, $1.50 to $2. So is this better or worse? I don't know. We're going to try them out. I've never done it this way before. In previous years, I paid like $5 per plant because I bought them in a pot, already grown. And that's what I'm saving some space back here for. So if I've got 9 here, minus 1 there, so yeah, I'll probably just get another 10 plants, and I'll put some back there. They might be a bit different variety, we'll see. Or I may go buy some more of these. We'll kind of see how that goes. I'm going to give these some time to try and sprout out and see what happens. And I mean, if they work well, this is a much cheaper alternative. I mean, for what I pay for 1 plant, I can get 10. So, and I know a lot of people, this is how they do it. They order strawberries online and get the strawberry variety that they want, and just plant a bare root like this, and seem to be pretty successful with it. All right, so that's what I got going on today. We're planting strawberries. Nothing better than being able to plant or to pick strawberries in your backyard. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. So, one of the things about when we moved here is we had next to no earthworms. Now, it was weird because there's an area out in front of the house where they kept it mulched pretty much constantly, and it was rock mulch. And we were taking some of those rocks out, man, we found worms everywhere. But out here where the garden was, nary worm one. Well, digging up the soil here, right here in this section, I found a big, beautiful, fat earthworm. So, we're starting to get there. Okay, we've been slowly improving the soil, year over year over year. Tons and tons of compost, trying to take care of it. You know, covered up with weeds and mulch whenever we're not actually using the soil, and so on. A lot of different things we do to keep the soil good, but that's an indication when I'm just finding earthworms in it. All right, so I'm very pleased with that. But once again, planting strawberries, that's what I got going on. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Most importantly, grow something. Get some strawberries growing in your backyard, man. It's a beautiful thing. And strawberries are cool because a lot of times they'll just keep coming back year over year. And then you'll always have strawberries to eat, man. There just ain't nothing better than that. Summertime strawberries. All right. Thanks once again. Y'all come back and see me and grow something.